We live in a nation where freedom is our greatest aspiration. On July 4th, 1776, a new nation was born, and soon after, the Constitution was created. This Constitution held the Bill of Rights. The first bill in the Bill of Rights, also known as the First Amendment, states that in this nation we have the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and freedom of petition. Since this time, however, we have been fighting to keep our rights intact. Unfortunately, there are people in this nation who want to keep the rights of the people limited. However, that hasn't stopped this nation from fighting for the First Amendment rights. The involvement of the ACLU in the case of the National Socialist Party of America versus Skokie case in 1976 resulted in the triumph of the First Amendment, but in the tragedy for the Jewish people of Skokie.
In 1920, the American Civil Liberties Union, also known as the ACLU, was founded to ensure that the promises made in the Bill of Rights were upheld. Since then, the ACLU has gotten involved in numerous cases in order to fulfill this goal. During World War II and after, there was an influx of Jewish immigrants to America. By the 1970s, 1/6 of the Skokie village population was a Holocaust survivor. During this time, there were counterculture movements all over the country. Young people were speaking up for issues that were unpopular in an attempt to change social norms and politics. Prior to the 70s, there were many movements and protests in the 60s, such as the Black Panther movement and student protests, like the ones that took place in Berkeley, California. Another movement that took place was the Nazi Socialist Party, who wanted to march in Skokie.
World War II sparked a conflict between the Socialist Party of America and Jewish people because it caused a division between two groups of people. As a result, Jewish people had to leave their homes in Germany and migrate to other countries. America happened to be one of those many countries. By the 1970s, Skokie, a bordering suburb of Chicago, had become home to thousands of Jewish immigrants, and it was a safe haven. In fact, during this time, Skokie had the second highest population of Jewish survivors in the world. This peace was disrupted by the National Socialist Party when they attempted to march on Skokie in support of Nazi views.
Soon after getting word of the planned march, Skokie residents were appalled. The NSPA just wanted to hold a demonstration in order to protest the use of parks for political assemblies. But many believed that by marching they were promoting and inciting hate.
I'm not going to wait they shall come again and take me and destroy me and burn me. I don't care who this is. And whoever's going to help the Nazi is to me a Nazi too.
Do you feel sick?
As a result, many Jewish residents plan to do counter-protest. By doing this, they pose a threat because the protest could lead to an uncontrollable clash.
After announcing the desire to march through Skokie, authorities tried preventing the march due to a vast majority of the population being Jewish. The authorities tried their hardest to prevent the march from happening, even going as far as posting a $350,000 fee in case any violence broke out. Not only that, but they banned the NSPA from displaying any Nazi symbols. After the march was canceled, the ACLU got involved when Jewish lawyer Joseph Burton decided to defend the NSPA and their First Amendment right. The first court ruling said that the protest might lead to direct violence, which means it isn't protected by the First Amendment. The Illinois Appellate and Supreme Court then denied the NSPA immediate review. Soon after, in 1977, the Supreme Court challenged the decision using a bill of certiorari. The bill of certiorari allows the Supreme Court to challenge and review any decisions made by an inferior court. The court, led by Chief Justice Warren Burger, ruled 5-4 in favor of the NSPA. They decided that by denying them a stay of injunction and not by allowing them to march and prohibiting them to wear the NSPA uniforms, they were violating the First Amendment right. If this held up, courts for years to come could have denied us our First Amendment rights, which would go against beliefs of our country.
Due to the magnitude of the case, there was bound to be an impact. As a result of the decision, the leader of the NSPA, Frank Collin, won the case. Although the march never took place, the court's decision ensured the First Amendment triumph. Thanks to the decision of the court, they were to protect the First Amendment, not only for the NSPA, but for America as a whole. This case also set the precedent for marches all over the United States. For example, not too long ago, socialists in Charlottesville, Virginia, marched around carrying burning tiki torches, shouting various white nationalist chants. Finally, the Illinois Holocaust Museum opened as a result of the march in 1981. It started off as an education center, but over time, it blossomed into what is now the Illinois Holocaust Museum. The museum really is a testament to the solidarity of the Jewish community of Skokie. Instead of being discouraged by the ruling of the court, they came together in order to create an organization that would allow for people to be able to learn more about an event that has shaped the world. The Illinois Holocaust Museum has been attempting to make change in Chicago by remembering the past in order to transform the future, which is what they've been doing since 1981. The First Amendment is one crucial to our freedom. It allows us to do many things that many other countries disallow. By deciding to get involved in this case, the ACLU, along with the Supreme Court, saved and protected the First Amendment. For a society that labels itself the land of the free, protecting these rights is vital in order to continue implementing the values and wishes of our founding fathers.